Hey everybody, Josh here from Android Central, and we're just going to take a quick look at the US Cellular Motorola Electrify. Starting from the hardware side of things, if it looks familiar, it's probably because it's the regional variant of the Motorola Photon. And just like the Motorola Photon, it's rocking a 4.3 inch QHD display, Pentel matrix, and a Tegra 2 processor. Up on the top bezel, it looks like we've got a power button and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left bezel, we've got a micro USB port and an HDMI port. On the bottom, we've got nothing except for a lip to take off the battery cover. And on the right bezel, we have a volume rocker and a dedicated camera button. The buttons on this bezel have a cool groove pattern, and I really dig it. Also, if you'll notice, the bezel on the US Cellular version is actually silver instead of black, a little differentiating characteristic from the Sprint Photon, which is pretty cool. On the back, we're looking at an 8-megapixel camera with a dual flash, little US Cellular logo, and the same iconic kickstand that pulls out from the middle and not the side. Let's see if I can pop it out. There you go. It's actually a pretty strong kickstand. You can do it normally. You can also balance the phone vertically if you so desire. I also should have mentioned that on the front we've got a VGA camera. Hopping right to the back. Let's see if I can pop this off. Just cut my fingernails. Pretty tight fit. Alright. We've got a 1650 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty decent size. And as you can see, there's no SIM card and no micro SD, but this is a world-enabled phone. Mine just didn't come with a SIM card, and it doesn't come with a micro SD because the Electrify's got 16 gigs of internal storage and accepts up to 32 gigs on a micro SD. So let's just get this put right back together. Let's see how we do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start at the bottom. Do that side, make sure we are nice and together, and we'll boot the phone right back up. Alright, now that we've got the phone booted on, we'll just hop right into it. You'll see that we are running Motorola's It's Not Blur But It's Blur interface, and going right into the home screens. I have to say that the phone is really quick. Scrolling from screen to screen, you can really tell that the Tegra 2 is doing its job. And from far away, the Pentel matrix screen isn't terribly pixelated. I don't know how this looks when you get closer. When I get closer to my face, I can definitely see a difference there. But that might be neither here nor there. We've got 7 home screens, you see. Swiping's not too terrible. The main dock is here, and instead of Sprint ID on the Photon, we just have a camera, which goes straight into camera. Moving into the app drawer, you'll see we've got some games, Asphalt 5, some Amazon stuff, City ID, which I was a little bit surprised to see, but not too much bloat. We've got Manage SIM, which we don't need right now. My contact backup, my contacts backup. And we'll hop out of this. Which location looks like it wants to be Arrival to Google Places. We've got social navigation, where we can just add a social network, and I agree. This looks like a Motorola thing. We'll just come out of that. We've got the Webcop connector app, Zappos if you need shoes, Tone Room for ringtones and ringback tones. Going into the phone settings menu, checking out what version of Android we're running, and we're running 2.3.4, just like we should. Pretty commendable that Motorola actually had this ship with a recent version of Android. Photon shipped with 2.3.4, and I'm glad that they didn't change their tune with the Electrify. Going into phone storage, you'll see we've got about 8 gigabytes available internally. Almost 9. A little over 2.5, not quite 3 for apps, and the rest is system, obviously. I think I mentioned before it does come with 16 gigabytes on board, but obviously we can't use all of that. Going into language and keyboard, looks like it comes with swipe built in, and just checking out how we change things on the dock. Switch out things we don't like. Just a long press, and maybe we put something on like navigation. Pretty simple. And we'll add Google Voice, and maybe I need Gmail. Bingo. Pretty simple. Going here, checking out the Motorola widgets. We've got a lot of toggles. Bookmark widget, contact quick tasks, looks similar to a Frontcaster logo. Messages, news, social networking, and social status. Weather, Wi-Fi, and world clock. So we'll put down airplane toggle. Looking at the Android widgets, it's exactly what we would expect. And in the wallpaper side of things, in the gallery, obviously nothing. So we'll be writing a review up probably pretty soon. Is when you guys should be expecting it. I'll cover some things that might have been covered in the Photon review, and maybe a couple that weren't. So that is the US Cellular Motorola Electrify.